Howl's Moving Castle, movie versus book, just chapters 6 through 10. I have found at least 5 major differences. I'm going to go through those and then tell you which I prefer so far, the book or the movie. Well, major change number 1 is what's going on in the background behind our main story. In the movie, it's a war. The king's trying to get Howl to help him fight a war. In the book, it's actually just the king looking for a lost prince. In fact, I'd say the movie is anti-war, where the book is almost anti-capitalism, because they keep mentioning exploitation of workers. Those things are called out explicitly. Also, Howl is kind of this Robin Hood figure where he overcharges the king. I mean, just an exorbitant amount for spells, but then he undercharges the normal folks in the villages. And so it's kind of a take from the rich, give to the poor type of a thing. Number 2 is when Howl loses his mind in the movie because his hair gets dyed. Yeah, he really loses it. But in the book, it goes to the next level. He starts screaming so much so that Sophie and Michael have to leave the castle because they're afraid. And the townspeople are all huddled up and they're afraid. They can all hear it. Another thing that's different is Turnip Head. In the movie, he's this adorable character. In the book, he's kind of a pest that they're running from. In fact, when Howl loses his mind over his hair being dyed and he turns into all that goo and everything, Sophie kind of turns to him and calls him a baby and says, "I've never been pretty one day in my life." And then she storms out and is standing out in the rain. Well, out hops this adorable Turnip Head and holds an umbrella over her until she kind of collects herself. Also, there's this love dynamic going on in the book that I'm kind of confused by. Howl is actually pursuing Sophie's older sister, Letty. And one thing that's funny is he brings a guitar, but he doesn't even play it. So that's kind of a normal bro move. But also Michael loves Letty, and he's worried that Howl also likes him. So there's kind of a strange dynamic going on. But then we find out that it's not the same Letty that they both love. And so I'm a little bit confused by this so far. And then another big change is the relationship between Michael and Sophie. I love how in the book you see that develop a lot more. In fact, Michael has to solve this riddle in order to complete a spell that he's doing for somebody, and he's really frustrated by it. So Sophie comes in and helps him, and they have to capture a star. And when they do, they find out the star doesn't want to be caught. The star says, "I want to fall to the earth and die." So it hops out of their hand and falls into the water and sizzles out. So I'm putting a pin in that to see what that's going to mean down the line. But which of these do I like better so far? I'm still liking the movie. And the biggest reason is because I'm surprised. The world in the book is kind of vanilla, where the world in the movie, every frame is a work of art. The whole steampunk world going on. And then also when Howl is laying in bed and Sophie's kind of helping him out after cleaning up the goo, he is in this just ornamented bedroom where every inch there's something cool and amazing. And none of that's described. And I'm really surprised where the book has a little bit more breathing room that they could describe a world that's way more interesting than it is. So far, I'm still loving the movie more than the book. But what do you think? I'd love to hear it in the comments, and subscribe for more.